Hey, and welcome back to another episode of Gamers, Streamers, and More. I'm your host, Gracie Starr, and this week we'll be taking a look inside the world of streamer xQc.
Dang!
Felix Longueuil, otherwise known as xQc, was born in Laval, Quebec, about 25 years ago. In fact, his birthday was just last week, so happy late birthday, man. The Overwatch streamer, who has since built his reputation up on Twitch, didn't begin his internet journey with video games. In fact, xQc used to spend his time with his brother Nicholas and some childhood friends honing in on his skateboarding and snowboarding skills, alongside with his gaming skills. As xQc grew older, his passion for extreme sports waned, but his love of casual gaming manifested into something more serious. Before he pursued gaming as a full-time career, xQc was actually enrolled at CEGEP, a vocational college, so to speak, where he studied humanities, of all things. Pretty ironic when you think about how well xQc is known for his toxic behavior. But I guess that shouldn't come as a surprise, given that he was completely entranced by Tyler1's streaming personality. T1 had a huge influence on the xQc persona that we see today, and honestly, I'm not even surprised. You can really see similarities between the two when it comes to yelling on stream.
No! What
The main difference between T1 and xQc probably lies in their gaming proficiencies. While Tyler excelled at MOBA games like League of Legends, xQc didn't really find a home for himself there. Tried all he liked, the arena game just wasn't for him. At this point, xQc kinda needed to make a career out of gaming. The guy dropped out of school with just a semester left before graduation, and let's be honest, with a personality like his, humanities might not have been the easiest route for him. But playing games alone was never something xQc enjoyed, so it seemed only natural that he should stream. Sadly, his viewers weren't giving him much company either, until one fateful day in 2016. Despite Overwatch being released in 2015, xQc hadn't discovered the first-person shooter game until sometime in 2016. xQc had already slowly started to build his platform and make a name for himself on Twitch, but Overwatch was just the outlet he needed to showcase how talented he really was. xQc happened to be perfectly attuned to the game itself, and was soon regularly making high-level plays that showcased his true talent for gaming, something that he wasn't quite capable of displaying when he practiced League of Legends. When I searched through his Twitch stats, I was still surprised at the dramatic change in viewership he had over the span of just a few months. While I can't access more than the past 4 years of Twitch statistics, xQc originally averaged about 28 viewers per stream in November of 2016 and had jumped up to 330 viewers per stream in just a month. In March of 2017, xQc was already surpassing 1,000 average viewers. So what was his big break that bumped him from 28 to 2,800 to the current 56,000 average viewers he gets today? 2 words: pro scene. While xQc's language might not have fit the bill for what it takes to be a professional player, his skills undoubtedly landed him a spot on multiple teams throughout his competitive career. He was first picked up by Datsuk Gaming in the summer of 2016, a Canadian Overwatch team where he would go on to later win his first Overwatch tournament by the end of the same summer at DreamHack Montreal. Denial Esports picked up xQc that following October of 2016, just a few months before we started to see his Twitch channel gain some momentum. But it wasn't until a year later that xQc finally felt he had found recognition in the pro scene alongside Dallas Fuel. However, the competitive scene was a short-lived dream for this Overwatch legend, as xQc retired from the pro scene just after a couple of years to pursue a more creative side of gaming: content creation. By the time xQc left the pro scene in 2018, this Twitch streamer was starting to average about 10,000 viewers and had approximately 17,000 subs. To put things into perspective, xQc was probably making about $85,000 alone from just the subs each month. So I guess if I were him and I knew I could make that much money on my content alone, I'd probably leave the competitive scene as well. With all the success the streamers seem to have found, could anything really go wrong for him? Despite being one of the top streamers of today and an incredibly competitive Overwatch player, xQc has had his fair share of player controversies. In 2017, xQc actually threw a competitive game where he was required to publicly apologize and incur a 7-day suspension.
He hard threw Kelvin and Raucus's game. Alright, so a really fast summary of what happened. xQc queued up into a game with Calvin and Raucus. Raucus locked in Bridget, refused to swap off it because xQc was requesting it, and he said it's his Bridget only account. And then when xQc didn't get Bridget, he decided to play Symmetra, leave voice chat, and pretty much threw the game hard.
Following that incident, about a year later, xQc finds himself on thin ice as he seemed to have pushed his luck a bit too far.
Overwatch League Pro suspended for homophobic insult against an opponent.
Trash talk this aggressive is generally frowned upon, but because Muma is openly gay, the connotations of his words took on a much more offensive meaning.
In the months leading up to xQc's retirement from the pro scene, we find our beloved Overwatch player racking up $6,000 in fines, with subsequent match suspensions as well for racially charged commentary and homophobic remarks. In the society that is 2020 today, we would probably have expected Twitter and every other social media platform to have cancelled this guy into oblivion, despite xQc being heavily engraved in the gaming community. Shockingly enough though, his Twitch statistics hardly reflected anything that would have indicated major backlash from such controversial situations during the time period. Even today, when xQc found himself banned yet again for stream sniping at a Twitch Rivals event, he's barely been affected followers-wise when you compare the average viewership to total followers gained within the last few days. For those of you who haven't heard of his latest incident, xQc was caught stream sniping in a Fall Guys tournament of all things. What was crazy is he actually messed with Tyler1's team, someone he used to look at as a big motivator in his early days of streaming.
You're a star loser, xQc, and you have to stream snipe and hold my members down, because you're a loser.
That xQc cheated or sniped. But the only way our perspective is it's like if we were playing League with no delay on Twitch and he ghosted while we were playing League. That's the only thing. You can't do it during a Twitch Rivals event, you idiot. You idiot.
He was caught on his own stream even saying how there was no way he'd be banned for something as trivial as that.
Guys, I'm not gonna get banned even if they report me. Guys, listen, I blatantly...
Twitch seemed to have other thoughts on the matter. The 7-day Twitch ban and 6-month Twitch rival ban probably doesn't even face a streamer anymore, and his followers seem to even expect this kind of behavior. By now, I think we can just assume that xQc is one of those toxic players that you either love to hate or hate to love. He's got such an explosive personality on Twitch that you just can't look away. Him being able to survive the negative backlash he's received was probably most likely due to the fanbase he's already been building, since they know how skilled he is, as well as the fact that most of his streaming bans are very short-lived. His most intense reformations occurred within the pro scene, something that xQc didn't appear to enjoy as much as bringing his own content to life. His audience just doesn't care that he's toxic and instead thrives on that energy. Just like Tyler1, one of the most toxic and now reformed players in both Twitch and League of Legends history, has built his entire fanbase around that energy and persona. The followers they have are probably the same kind of people who would have made the same comments as xQc, so it really shouldn't be that much of a shock when we see how stable his growth has been throughout all the controversy as well. Before closing out the segment, I would like to take a moment to analyze xQc's current Twitch statistics and net worth. As of this month, xQc is sitting at about 4.16 million followers with an average of 56,000 viewers per stream and approximately 32,000 subscriptions. You may notice a huge spike followed by a sharp dip in his follower count, and I have two theories behind this. The influx in followers is most likely due to the Corona shutdown. With everyone being forced to stay at home, Twitch views in general increased exponentially, and with xQc already being a large presence on the platform, most likely caught the newcomer's attention. As to why it dropped so dramatically before continuing his same gradual rise, this could be one of two things. One, the Valorant beta was released in early April, the same month where xQc appears to have lost a huge amount of followers. A lot of Overwatch players might have been interested in the new game, and with that newness comes a desire to be the best player in the scene, since so many other FPS games are already heavily dominated. Or two, after the quarantine followers who followed because they were bored and finally are allowed to have some more freedom outside of just their house, accounts might have been deleted or unfollowed since they were only interested in the channel when they felt like they had nothing else to do. Followers and viewership aside, his average net worth ranges from between $1.5 to $3 million depending on how often he either streams or posts content between Twitch and YouTube. Since xQc isn't typically one to take on sponsorship and doesn't compete in the pro scene anymore, all of his earnings come directly from his gaming content and streams. You could say this is also his full-time job, as unlike other streamers, xQc doesn't have any other side hustles that he spends time on. So what's xQc's next big move? Beats me. He won't be active for another few days or so, which means it's only a matter of time before he's back on the grind and upsetting someone else in game. We hope you enjoyed this special look into the streaming journey of xQc. As always, I'm Gracie Stark, signing off.